Hello, Living Better. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining. So this is a test. Can you hear me? Please give me any kind of heart. Just let me know that you can hear me, please. Hello, Living Better. How are you? Welcome. Hello, Killer Whale. How are you? Can you hear me? I'm just doing a test to make sure everybody could hear me and see my screen because the last few times I've been having problems with StreamYard with my volume and with my screen. So if someone can just give me a heart to let me know that they can hear me and that they can see my screen. I would appreciate it. Thank you for confirming. I'm just going to try and give people a couple of minutes to come in. I know it's a holiday and they're probably out enjoying their family. I'm just going to give everybody a couple of minutes to come in before I start the presentation. Were you in the military, Killer Whale? Thank you, Living Better. Oh, okay. My family was military. A lot of them were. I think we had somebody from each branch except for the Air Force. Yeah. Hi, Taylor. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining. How are you today, Taylor? I normally give people to the at least 5 minutes to start, and I'm going to start because I'm afraid that we're it's a little chance of a storm here. It's getting really dark, so I want to try and get through before it gets dark. Hey, Short Bus, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining. How are you today? I appreciate you guys coming in today. I know it's a holiday and people are probably out around the grill or whatever with their family. So I appreciate it. We normally have a fireworks exhibit in our subdivision, but since it looks like it's going to rain, I'm not sure if they're going to do it or not. But that wouldn't surprise me because they did that last year too. It rained and they still did the fireworks. So got to do it for the children, I guess. So you're getting the rain too. Yeah. So I guess you know what I'm drinking right now, short bus. My tap water. Definitely. Hey, Magdalene, how are you? Welcome all the way from the Philippines. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start. I don't know if who in here I've been talking. I know many of us have either had someone in the service or been in the service. So I'm just going to wish across the board, telling everybody thank you for serving our country and protecting us. So I appreciate you coming today on this day. So this is a little out of my scope because I wasn't going to do, I have everything set up in a certain way, but because Monday fell on Veterans Day, I decided to go ahead and talk about VA loans. So I switched around a little. So today we're going to talk about VA loans. So if you guys will please make sure you thumbs up the live, I appreciate it. So I have to give you the disclaimer. I am a mortgage licensed professional. This chat is not meant to clean credit. I am simply offering advice and support to make a healthier credit profile. Hey, Vern, how are you? Welcome. This chat also does not constitute a loan approval or any interference with a lender or a realtor. And what that means is if you're in the process of buying a house and working with a lender or a real estate agent and you have problems with them, I will not interfere with your transaction. I can only offer you advice. Okay, so we're going to talk about the VA loans, of course. I want to talk about when VA loans first came into existence. I always try to give people the history of. Okay. Oh, Taylor, tell your brother thanks for his service. I'm going to try and pay attention to the chat too as well, because normally you guys the other day I was talking for 5 or 10 minutes before I realized you couldn't hear me. So, but we're going to talk. I always try to give you a little history about everything that I talk about on my channel. And then with the VA loan program, it was actually created in 1944. And this was as part of the Servicemen's Readjustment Act, aka known as the GI Bill of Rights. VA loans was signed into law by the President Franklin D. Roosevelt on June 22nd. This was provided to our fellow servicemen who served our country during World War II. This loan is insured by the government as opposed to the traditional loan. The program is less stringent than and with the credit requirements, along with the ability to purchase with no money down. This made VA loans a lifeline for military borrowers, many of who would otherwise struggle to secure a home loan finance. I'm going to do a little side note here. I had two experiences with VA loans, and one was with my grandparents. My grandfather was in the Army here in Atlanta, Georgia. He was the first African American veteran that was called to go overseas. He was in the newspaper and everything. So, with that being said, I want to talk a little bit about this. Now, in 1971, Nixon signed into law the Veterans Housing Act, which also opened up the for the veterans to refinance their loans, their existing loans, relieving them from the higher interest rate that was given to them at that time. Now, my grandparents did not buy. Hey, hey, story time with Shay John. Hello, welcome. So now I will tell you this: my grandparents purchased their home in 1971. It is now our family home. They passed on. But how it happened was during the time there was a lot of redlining. So they had people living in apartments and did not own their homes. So the VA sent agents out door to door to different apartments telling the tenants how they can become homeowners. So that's how my grandparents got their first home, was through a door to door salesperson regarding the VA loans. The second instance was with me, and it's because the VA loans are so lenient in their different ways out of the situation. My second home that I purchased was a home that belonged to a veteran, and she had her home for many, many years, but she was, lack of better word, she was not good with her finances, and she got attached to the drug market. So she was on drugs. And her company bailed her out, bailed her out. The VA gave her opportunity and opportunity to finally, they could not extend it any longer. So I purchased the house from her as a foreclosure. And the first loan was, it was two loans. The first loan, which was her loan, was a VA loan. And I was able to assume her mortgage. And then the second loan was with one of the big banks, and it was a conventional loan. But my first payment was $180 a month on a house that was well over $200,000. Okay, so we're going to talk about purchasing your VA loans and what's going on with the VA loans, the requirements. So when you purchase a VA loan, they're based on your eligibility and we'll need your DD 214, which I spoke about that in the first Mortgage Monday that I did, that we would need your DD 214 and the eligibility um, to see what your upfront mortgage insurance premium would be. And that's going to depend on if you're going to get 100% financing. And it also depends on the type of the branch of servicing that you were in. If you were full time or if you were a, oh gosh, I just forgot the name of it. I always do this. Whether you were full time or where you were like National Guard. So that's the VA purchases will be based on your DD 214 and your eligibility. You have loan to value on your VA loans. And when they say loan to value, we need to find out how much is the lender going to allow you to finance according to VA's guidelines. So everything with the VA government loans is based on VA's guidelines. So the lender can have their own set of guidelines, but they have to follow the VA guidelines as well. Now, government loans was my niche. I did VA and FHA loans more than any other type of loans. Now, I've done them all, but my favorite was VA loans because it gave me a good heart feeling that I have been able to assist somebody into getting in their home when they had less than perfect credit or if they didn't have money to put down. They just didn't have anybody to structure their loan correctly. So VA and FHA was my favorite type of loan. I will talk to you guys again about the different types of loans and the process of going through FHA or VA and conventional. So I just wanted to, again, today come out and talk to you guys about VA since today is Memorial Day. Now with down payment, typically with VA loans, there's no down payment. It's 100% financing. But that does not mean the borrower will not come to closing with no money. Typically on a loan, they will come with $0. Sometimes they will get a couple of dollars back, which would normally be their appraisal money. But they are 100% financing. If they had to come to closing with money, it would be pertaining to the closing costs and not the financing of the loan. So those things cannot be financed into the loan because you're getting 100% financing. So if you're having to pay any money out of pocket, it's going to be pertaining to the closing costs. Now it's up to the real estate agent to negotiate the prices of the closing costs with the seller. Does anybody have any questions so far about the VA loans, when it started, the down payment? VA loans also have they're not as strict. So you can do a lot more with VA loans as long as it's within reason and it makes sense. So when you're having money that you have to pay, if you have to pay any money, it can be a gift from a family member, but you are not supposed to pay the money back. So there's a letter that the family member will sign and say, I am giving my daughter or my son or um, my mother or my father the money to put their money down. They would have to sign the letter saying that they are not required to pay that money back. Because if they are required to pay it back, then we would have to count that amount back in the ratios. Most people don't give you a hard time with giving gift money because they know the guidelines. Now, some will say that they're not paying it back, but what they do outside of the closing, we don't know. Now, I talked about mortgage insurance. Now, we do know that VA loans are all guaranteed through VA. So they're different than your traditional financing. So these are loans that are guaranteed. Now, on a regular loan, on a conventional loan or FHA loan, there are upfront fees that are called mortgage insurance premium, which is MIP. Now, with the MIP, VA, they finance it into the loan amount. And that's what gives you the 100% financing. But it is like insurance on your car or insurance on your house. It's coverage in the event of a default. With VA, you are able to purchase, but you're also able to refinance. Now, let me back up. For your purchases, VA will allow you to purchase at 100% financing. Of course, you can buy 1 to 4 unit properties. But if you're getting more into 2 and 3 and 4 units, then you have to have reserves because they want to make sure that if that unit is not rented, you will still be able to make the payments. So they ask for reserves. Now, with a refinance for your cash out refinance, you can do a cash out refinance on a VA, and the maximum total loan to value is 90%. So you can do a cash out refinance with 90%. The only thing they're going to require is that you have been in the property for a minimum of 12 months because they're going to want to know that you are not just, you didn't just buy the house to go and pull out the cash because of the way the appraisals are set up. So, sorry guys, I've been notifications, I'm sorry. So with that being said, you can do a cash out refinance and your loan to value would be up to 90%. And then they have a refinance that's a streamlined refinance, and we call it the EARL, which stands for Interest Rate Reduction Loan. You can do that at 100% with your loan to value being at 100%. You also have to have a pay history of 6 months with no late, 0 times 30 late, 0 times 30 day late. So not if you paid it on the 16th and it's due on the 1st. You just cannot be over 30 days late. We do not calculate your debt to income ratio on the EARLs. And the only thing we ask that the loan officer do is to put the job title and company on the loan application and the bank information if you are getting cash to close, if you're going to have to bring cash to closing. But they actually try and work those loans out. And that was my last job working at the bank, was doing the interest rate reduction loans. and I can do those in my sleep. But they have calculations that we have to do to make sure that the customer it's that it has to be a benefit. We're not going to refinance the customer because they just need to get a break, because when you refinance your loan, you skip a payment, kind of sort of, because we're paying off your existing loan, and when your new loan goes to the new lender, you don't have a payment for 45 days. So a lot of people thought that they could just do it because they could not make a payment. And it has to be a benefit. So if their interest rate is 4% and they want to do an interest rate reduction loan and the rate is going to be 3.5, that's really not a benefit to the customer. So we do calculations to make sure that it is a benefit. Okay, so living better. Yes, your dad used the VA loan to buy his home years ago. Yeah, absolutely. VA is a wonderful program. If you are in the military, because now if the person that was in the military passes away, the spouse actually gets the benefits of the home purchasing and refinancing. So with the refinances, again, it has to be a benefit. If it's not a benefit, we cannot close that loan. We cannot close the loan. The lender will not close the loan because VA will chop us up and chew us out if we did that, because that's setting the customer up for failure. And they are very, very particular about their customer, their veteran, which I love that about VA. I know VA gets a lot of negative thoughts with hospitalization and the vets out of work and things of that nature. But when it comes to the loans, they really actually protect their veterans. Now, we talked about closing costs in the beginning, and with closing costs, the seller can pay all of your closing costs on your VA loan. But on a conventional loan or an FHA loan, they can only cover up to 5%. Anytime you have a seller that's costing more than 5%, that's kind of like a gouger. So we look at that, and VA takes that very seriously. They will actually send a rebuttal back to the seller and ask them, how are they charging all those closing costs? Because back then, a lot of people would charge the higher amount and would get, hey, Natural Way, welcome, how are you? So they would charge more money and then do kickbacks. So again, VA is very, very protective of their veterans. And so are the FHA. Government loans are very protective of the customers. Now here's the fun part, the appraisal. But I'm going to talk to you too also about the loan amounts. I'm sorry. Loan amounts. There is not a max loan amount on VA loans. However, there are limits that are according to your county and your parish. So if you're in a county that has, and they do this because people would buy land, for instance, and they would put this $1 million house on a parcel of land. And then every other house in the area is only worth like $20,000 or $50,000. Well, VA looks at that for more than one reason, but the biggest reason is if that loan goes into default and that customer forecloses on that, and that property gets foreclosed on, VA cannot get that value for that property because all the other houses in the surrounding area is way less than that $1 million home. So they have loan limits according to your county and your parish, county and or parish. Louisiana has parishes; they don't have counties. So we have a list of county guidelines that we have to look at too when it comes to VA loans. Now to the appraisal. The appraisals are not ordered through the loan officer, as far as me calling one of my appraiser friends that I know. Cannot do that. VA assigns their own appraisers. And that appraiser is very, very frugal and is very attentive to every little thing about the property. They want to make sure that the property does not have any repairs needed, termites, septic inspections are required, and any repairs. Then that appraiser is going to go out. They're going to find everything that they need to make sure, because you want to make sure your customer is getting the property, that they're not going to have to come in and fix it up as soon as they get in there. Because if they do, guess what? They're going to fix their house up, and that means their mortgage payment is going to be late. So they make sure that they're very particular about the properties and the customers, which is a good thing. So they check everything. They check your plumbing, they check your gas line, they check your septic, they check your stove, your refrigerator, anything that's included in that house, they're going to check it to make sure that the customer is not going to be in having any trouble the minute they move into the property. Now, with the appraiser also, again, they will send out the appraisal to the lender. The lender will underwrite it. And if the lender has questions on what the appraiser does, then the appraiser has to go back out. So that's why they collect the money from the customer upfront for the cost of the appraisal. But if it's not used, then that amount goes back to the customer. That money cannot stay with the lender. It cannot stay with the loan officer. It cannot stay with the real estate agent. It goes back to the customer. And that is the maximum amount of money that the customer can get back from closing on a purchase. It's from the appraiser or the appraisal fee. Now, we talked about loan amounts, and that's all pertaining to the county guidelines and the parish guidelines. There's no loan amount, no limits on the loan amounts with the VA loan. So with that being said, if you can qualify for $1 million home, I don't really know what's the largest VA loan that I've ever done. I think $700,000 was the largest one that I did. But if you cannot qualify for the amount, VA may be a little bit stringent and they may be a little bit easier to get, but they want to make sure that they're not going to get that house back. So they're going to follow their own guidelines, but it's still going to go to the underwriter as well. So VA loans are really good for customers and especially for our servicemen, because at one point they did not advertise VA loans. It wasn't until the president signed it in and said, hey, we need to take care of the veterans. They need housing and we need to do that. There is programs available. And a lot of people do not realize the programs, because I had a customer in particular. She never told me she was in the service. She never told me anything. She heard what someone said and came to me and said, I want to do an FHA loan. I said, well, why? And she says, because I don't have the money to put down. So that was probably one of my biggest mistakes when I was a loan officer. I should have questioned her a little bit more, because she actually did qualify for a VA loan. She did not pursue the VA loan. And then years later, she lost her home. She called me after the fact because I could have actually helped her through and prevented her from being foreclosed on, but she didn't call me until she had lost the house. So VA has a lot of benefits for their customers. And I must admit, VA loans are very easy to do as a loan officer. They're very easy for us to do. The only problem we have is just that it has to be underwritten twice. And if it's a larger loan amount, we would underwrite it in our office, and then we would send it out to the VA for them to underwrite it as well. But other than that, VA loans are really, really easy loans to do. Is there anybody on here other than Living Better with Style that her father had a VA loan? Anybody else here?
It's 8 o'clock.
I'm sorry, guys. That's my timer. Anybody in here actually have a VA loan or interested in having a VA loan? Or if anybody in here that has any questions regarding the VA loan. I am going to go over VA loans again, more in depth, because again, I had a different setup for all of my Monday mortgages, and I wanted to pay all honor to the veterans and just talk about the VA loans today because of the holiday. But is there anybody out here that has dealt with a VA loan, has a VA loan, knows somebody with a VA loan, or would love to have a VA loan because they're a veteran? Any questions right now? Okay, guys. Well, if there is no other questions and no one had anything that they wanted to say, does anybody have any suggestions for next Monday that they would like for me to talk about? I do have a list that I want to go off of, but if you have suggestions, I'd like to open the floor to give you the opportunity to talk about what you would like to hear me talk about on the mortgage side. And if you have any suggestions, I would love to have them. I'm also going to start doing a recap of the previous week so that if anybody has any questions or if anything comes up or if I may have forgotten to say something, I can do it in the recap. So as of next week with all of my lives, I'm going to do a recap and go from there. So again, anybody have any questions? Great topic. Thank you, Natural Way. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, it was nice chatting with you last night too. Thank you so much. So yes, if you have any questions or concerns, now is the time. If you need to tell me what you think I should talk about, I'm going to do the whole shebang with mortgages. By the time I finish with teaching my mortgage knowledge, a lot of you guys could probably go out and become loan officers. I'm just saying. Because I go way into detail. I'm going to talk to you about the debt to income ratios and MI and mortgage insurance and title insurance and all kind of things. When the person passes away. Are you asking what happens to the VA loan when the person passes away? It will if the person passes away. Thank you, Natural Way. So living better, if a person passes away, if they have a spouse or children, they can do a refinance on the house and they can keep the house as a VA. Okay, awesome, Natural Way. So this Monday is mortgage day. So I'm going to talk about mortgages every Monday. So if you have questions about mortgages or if you want to know a particular topic on a mortgage, you can either IG me or you can I always try to put a poll out. So if I put a poll out and ask about it, you can put it on the poll. Hey, Miss Yo Yo, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping in. How was your day? So yes, living better. That is correct. So that will go to the spouse, and they can refinance it or they can sell it. If the property ends up going into foreclosure, whoever buys it, they can do an assumable note. That's if the lender decides that they want to deal with an assumable note. And it's really hard for somebody to lose a VA loan. It's really hard. They have all types of programs. Great. I'm glad you had a great day. So there's a lot of resources that they have to prevent the homeowners from losing their homes. Because the lenders really don't want these houses back. They don't. Especially when you're getting in a time like we had back in 2000 and when was the last bailout? We had 2009. We had a big bailout then, and we had a lot of foreclosures. And the lenders they were selling those homes like, whew, they lost a lot. I will say that. So they don't want these houses. You're welcome. You're very welcome. So again, they don't want to lose these houses. Hey, what I'm going to start doing too, guys, when I finish my presentation on any of the Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I'm going to offer the opportunity for people to come up and ask questions or share an experience. I'm going to open up the floor after my presentation if somebody wants to come up and talk. Hey, Tiffany, welcome. I know you signed in earlier, so thank you for that. Thank you so much. Thank your brother for his service as well. So, but yes, I'm going to open up the floors effective next week. So not this week, but effective next week. I'm going to open up the floor for people to come up and talk if they have questions. So I always ask that people come prepared with questions because my motto is pen plus paper plus questions equals answers. So I want to be able to assist you guys. I really want, if you haven't purchased a home or if you have a home and you're refinancing, I really want to have the information available for you so that you can knock a whole lot out with that. So if you don't feel comfortable with your loan officer, then they thank you, Tiffany. If you're not feeling comfortable with your loan officer, if they're saying certain things that doesn't make sense to you, you can always IG me and ask me a question. Or you can go to one of my Mortgage Monday panels and just make a comment on one of the videos, and I'll see the comment, and then I can come in and give you advice on that. But I want you to be very aware of the situation. I just want you to know that when you go out to buy a house or to refinance, if you are not happy with the services, if something doesn't sound right, if you want to get an extra opinion, again, I will not interfere with the process, but I will give you my advice. Now, guys, I've got over 30 years of experience in this business. So I want everybody to be successful in purchasing their home or refinancing their home because that's a big part of your life. A lot of people work to pay for a house, and that's a big chunk of your money. So I just want you to be happy, and I just want you to be alert and know these things. So that's why I want to open up the floor next week for all three segments so that you guys can ask questions, ask away. That's what I'm here. I may not cover everything because I'm going off of memory and what I think you guys should know. You may have a question that I did not cover, and you ask me, and I'll be able to answer the question for you. So I would love to have more interaction. If you guys could come up on the panel and speak, that's greatly appreciated. So did anybody have any questions? Did anybody want to come up on the panel today? Because I could drop the link if you like. I was just in another room. I know you were. Braiding paper hair. I bet you it was cute. I bet you it was pretty. So yes. So any other questions, guys? Anybody have any concerns? Anybody give me anything that I want to talk about? Because I'm even thinking about doing a segment on real estate agents too, because before I became a mortgage person, I was a real estate agent. So I'm like a jack of all trades. If y'all only knew all the things that I've done in my life, you guys would say, wow, she's done some of everything. But real estate agent was one of them. Well, if there's no other questions anyone have, I will. Yeah, it is really funny, Tiffany. Jack of all trades. Yes, I am. You look jack of all trades up and you'll see Eat to Live Strong standing in front of the picture. Me. All day, every day. Maybe I should I want to hear it all. Maybe I was getting ready to say that natural way. I probably should do a video. That one would probably go viral. I'm just saying. The funny thing is everything that I've done, I still could do it. You have more videos on FHA loans. FHA is one of my topics that I will talk about, Shay. So, Shay Johnson, yes. So I will. I'm not doing many videos. I'm actually talking because I was told that I really shouldn't put videos out, especially if it's not. I mean, I don't. Back when I was doing first time home buyer seminars, I don't know if I have a video of that anymore. Now, what I could do is if I'm doing a first time home buyer seminar, I definitely will record that, and that will definitely come on my live on my channel. But as far as having a video of it, I could probably see, I have to be very careful if it's making sure that I'm not going to have any copyright problems. Did you have a certain question, or you just want to know more about FHA loans? I guess they are going to still have the fireworks because they're out there shooting now. And guys, you do know a lot of the things I talk about um, basically are Georgia's laws and regulations. However, in other states, I do have contacts that I can get the information that I need. So most of the guidelines are across the board, but when it comes to closing costs and days and closing and things like that, those are all different lenders. So I would have to get that. Oh, you're interested in buying a home? Okay, yeah, absolutely. Um, Shay, yeah, because we're going to do a segment too on debt to income ratios and pre-qualifying. We'll do a pre-qualification segment for FHA and conventional and VA loans, all three loans. So I will give you three different um, types of loans. So if you're going to do an FHA loan or a VA loan, etc., I will have the pre-qualifications set out so that you can see what the pre-qualifications are and how to qualify. So I will do that as well. How soon are you looking? Are you looking like immediately? Is it something I need to sidebar and talk to you on the side? Or would you like for me? Let me see what my next week is going to be about. Hold on just a second. I'll tell you what I was going to discuss next week. Okay, so let me see what it is for next week because I have them broken down. Actually, I was going to talk about fraud this week, but then when Veterans Day fell on today, I decided to do VA loans. I was going to talk about fraud. Please do, please do. Okay, okay, Shay, and Natural Way, yes, please, please IG me. And Shay, yes, okay, you wait, no, can do. Okay, great. Yeah, because you know what? After all that stuff go through, there is no tell. I hate to say it, but there's probably going to be another. We're probably going to go through another phase. Every so many years since I've been in the business, we have had a refi boom, and then right after the refi boom is normally during election time when we have a problem with housing. So we either have a lot of foreclosures and they're having the banks having to be bailed out and things like that, and they change, they change, and they change. So that's probably a good idea, Shay, is to wait for that. And yes, being prepared would be perfect. That's the best way to do it. So yeah, so that was my whole idea, was to start doing this so that I can start people. Now my first video was about what you need to have, what would you need to have to to go through the process. So if you check my first Monday's video out, it'll talk about that. And then the last week I talked about credit, which I know you've talked about credit. You had a person that came on stage. Yes, yes, Shay, I do believe so. Here's the thing: they've put out that they cannot foreclose right now because of what's going on. But what they did not put into consideration is that when people are back to work and they're having to, most of the lenders are not putting the mortgage payments on the end of the loan. So, which means that when it comes out of the pandemic and people are back to work, they got to catch up those payments. And when the ones that can't catch up, and I'll tell you the type of payments arrangements that they do with people, it's I believe it as well. Oh yeah, great. Yeah, Yep, it's going to, and it happens like clockwork. It happens like clockwork. They drop the rates. The feds drop the rates really really low. People get happy. They buy the homes, and they don't pay attention to, like, I'll tell people now, do not, just because you qualified to buy that $500,000 house, don't do it. Don't do it. Why would you want to buy a $500,000 house you're comfortable with paying for it, but if your spouse is out of work, or if you have a baby, if your car tears up, if your plumbing goes out, if your AC goes out, and you got to pay for these things to get them repaired, then you're stuck behind the gun, because people, you need to save your money more than anything. And I think Tiffany Chanel will agree with this. You need to save more money than you are spending, because we don't know what's going to happen. No, none of us expected this to happen. Nobody expected this to happen. And look what happened. So I would recommend people not to get the max that they can get. I say save your money and be frugal with it. Don't go out and spend the money because you qualify for it, because things can happen. And for instance, I had customers, when they would refinance, I would get their rates like 2% down. I want to buy land more than anything. Purchasing land is a good thing. Story time, Shay. Purchasing land is a good thing. You can get a construction loan and build on your land. Land loans are hard to do because most lenders, you have to go through a bank, because most lenders don't like to deal with land loan unless you're doing a construction perm. You're doing a construction loan. Yep. It's just that finance. What type of land are you trying to buy? Like a large amount, or because you can buy and build what you want. As a matter of fact, my uncle bought land in South Georgia, and he built a family home down there, but he also built other houses that he ended up selling. So he made a profit off of his land that he purchased. I have land here that is it's lakefront, and we don't have anything on it. We pull the fishing boat up and just go fishing on the lake and then come back home. And you don't realize how many people call me asking if I want to sell my land. It's collateral. So Shay, okay, that's cool. DM me your number and I'll turn around and DM you mine. You are on IG, right? So I have to say, we've got 7 wonderful content creators in the live. I really appreciate you guys coming in today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thumbs up the live. So Shay, are you Shay Johns? Are you on Instagram? If you are, I can have I can look you up and drop you my information. Okay, good. So if you're on the IG, I'll send you. Are you under IG the same name as your YouTube channel, or is it different? If you don't mind, if you want to put it in the chat, that's fine. So that way I can find you. Airbnb. That's, I don't know. I'm very leery about the Airbnb. I know a lot of people make money, but people have started to get kind of crazy with the Airbnb, meaning that they're tearing up people's property. And I'm in the city, so I'm not in the city per se, but in Atlanta, I'm hearing that a lot. And it's all over the news where people are tearing up Airbnbs and cameras and having parties and things like that. So that's something that if I had somebody that would be there all the time to take care of it, it's good. I mean, you have good insurance, you know, go for it. How many are you trying to do? Thank you, I got it. I just screenshot it so I have it. Hey, real life of LA. How are you? Welcome. Blessings to you, my dear. Hope you had a great day. Oh my goodness. Just with properties. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Are they all in the same? I don't want you to put your information where you are, but are they all in the same area where you live, or is there in different states? Awesome. Here with family. Great. I'm gonna take you up on that challenge that you're doing. Okay. Okay, I see it, Shay. Thank you. AKA James 615. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Everybody, please thumbs up the live. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being here. I know you could be outside with your family barbecuing and whatever else y'all do on this day. So I appreciate you taking the time coming out to get some information on VA loans. And yeah, it's great to have people in here that wants to know information. I love giving information out. I love, love, love helping people that need help with their mortgage information, with their fitness, with their healthy living. So, yeah, it's great. I'm glad you're here. Okay, real life. Yes, I'll definitely do it. What day are you doing yours? Is it on? What day did you do your video on? You guys, if you want to explain your challenge out there, you're more than welcome to do that. I know it's different. It's off of the mortgage side, but she has a challenge that she's doing, and I think it's really, really nice. So, but I will definitely do whatever day you go. I'll do mine that same day. So with Shay, yeah, I will definitely IG you and my DM you my number so we can talk further on that. But if you're looking for after the situation we're in blows through, I really think that's going to be the best opportunity because a lot of people are going to realize that they one or two things they cannot afford where they live and that they should have listened to whoever told them to get less in the beginning. Because as an underwriter, I would tell people don't overdo it. Yes, you qualify, but don't buy too much. And I think we're all starting to learn, if anything, this has taught us more about taking care of what we need. Okay, sis, I will be in next room and sleep. Okay, cool. Oh, that's right. You told me that. How is the family? And that's not putting your business, but how's everything going? Childhood Chronicles. You're very much welcome, Shay. Very welcome. And the next time I catch you live, I'll make sure I jump on. But I will definitely DM you my number. Much love on that one. So, guys, Tiffany Chanel goes at 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, at 9 o'clock. Whew, sorry, Tiffany. Oh man, Tiffany is going live in 35 minutes. So I normally try to raid her, but I know 35 minutes is a long time to hold you guys here. Just going well, she just wants me there. I don't okay, yeah, that's good. Girl, get over there. Go on. Go on, definitely. Any suggestions, you guys, how I should really do my segments? Do you guys like the slides, or how do you guys think I should do? Do you want me to continue doing the slides? To post the next one, June 13th. Let's do a time video. Okay, I got you. I can't wait to see you. You know I'll be there. Guys, in case you didn't realize, real life in LA, I know it was off topic, but because we've already gone through my presentation, she did a video on the chronicles of her childhood. So I decided to let her tell you about it because I thought it was pretty neat. So anytime to help you guys grow and get your video your views up, I will do it. It did not interfere with what I had to say as far as the content was concerned, but I like to give her, give everybody opportunity to do things. Slides are nice, whatever you're most comfortable with. Okay. Hey, I like this 365 on Power. What is it called? Microsoft. I didn't want to change. I'm that girl that just like don't give me anything new. I like what I like. And the 365, I fought it, but it was given to me from my when I finished my master's program. They had when I started the master's program, they gave us Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, all that stuff, and I was happy with it. But when it was no longer compatible on the Apple products. So I called the school and I said, hey, what's going to happen now? You got it all on my computer and I can't use it. They said, oh, you get the update. So for the rest of my life, I will get whatever updates. So I like the 365, all these different designs that's on the slide. You know, I didn't do this, right? They actually give you design ideas, and I love that. Oh, you're welcome, real life. You're very welcome. Yeah, Tiffany, give it a try. I'm loving it, especially since I haven't figured out what is that OBS yet. But that's me being lazy. I probably could have done it by now. So I definitely need to get that going. I'm wondering if I guess you could probably use that too on your YouTube, right, Tiffany? I would think so. So I want to be able to play music. Like now would be a nice time to have some mellow music playing. So if I convince y'all to stay for 30 minutes, at least y'all can sit here and bob your heads and oh man, that's so funny. Just don't know how to get what to get. Don't know what to get. Yeah, I just like I said, it gives you up here, it tells you design ideas. It gives you that design ideas. I don't have to do any of that. Yes, you can use it for implementing. Okay, great. Good to know. Good to know. Because I think this is the best thing ever. I fought it tooth and nail. But now I got to learn this all over because I got certification for for not 360. What is it called? Microsoft. I got certification through that in my bachelor's program. And I was like, oh yeah. I tell you what actually almost sent me to the ER with that was Excel. Oh my goodness. Excel, I could not get it for nothing. I finally figured it out. And Excel is the best thing because that's how I budget my do my billing, my household stuff. Everything's on Excel. It is so easy. I don't know why it was so hard for me to get it, but I got it. No, no, that might be a good time. That might be a good slide to do for Excel and budgeting using Excel. But since I don't do that part of the challenge, mine's is mortgage, fitness, and wellness. So I wouldn't need to give a budget thing. Tiffany could possibly do it if she wants. Look at me, Tiffany. I'm giving you ideas. Budgeting your household debt with PowerPoint. No, not PowerPoint. What was it? Excel. You cannot make any mistakes because it calculates everything for you. I need Word and Excel mainly, but now they have your membership in Office and students. And I don't know. Oh, so are you a student now? I didn't know they charge membership now. Wow. Wow. I have to get one for my Apple and one for my Windows based computer. So they gave me two, which I thought was cool. So I got one on my computer down in the office because for some reason companies don't like you to use Apple products. So every program that I use, I have to go. I call it the dungeon. I have to go to the basement to use the Windows based computer. Let's see. Shay was asking that too. Shay, are you still on? Shay, if you're still on, FHA was probably is set up for my fifth week. After today, it's going to be the fifth week. So I will be talking about the different types of loans, and I will start with FHA. I'll do the gubbies first, and then I'll do the conventional. So if you're still on, it's going to be on the fifth week. Okay, so Shay, I'm doing it the fifth week, 5 weeks from today. I will be doing FHA. Thank you, Natural Way. Thank you. I need to connect with you too, Natural Way, about the what we talked about last night on the live for the hair mixture, the hair products. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that they started charging a membership because I haven't had to pay for Windows-based Microsoft or Apple-based Microsoft in, gosh, probably I'll tell you the last time I paid for it, I had XP on my computer, and I don't even know what, because I don't even use. I think the last thing I have on my computer downstairs is it's the one called Microsoft Exit. Nah, what is it called? Windows 10 or something like that. Awesome sauce. Appreciate it. At me like you did before. I can get okay. Okay, story time at Shay. I will definitely do that. I don't know why I didn't remember to put you in the last two, and I'm going to tell you how it came up today. I was looking for somebody else, and your name came up, and I said, "Ooh, I got to put her in," because you went live. I think it was yesterday, or but you came up then, and I said I got to send it to you. But I was actually live at the time, so that's why I didn't come into your live. But yes, you're very welcome. If you want to tell anybody about that natural way, it's totally up to you. Right now, we're just chit chatting. I'm trying to wait until we go to Tiffany Chanel's live. We're gonna raid her. So if you want to tell everybody about your products, you're more than welcome to do so. If you want to come up, I can let you up on the stage, or if you want to talk about it, that's fine. That was Saturday. Yep, I was live then. I think I was out on the road. So natural way, just let me know if you want to come up. I can drop the link, or if you want to just tell them in the chat, that's fine too. If you want to talk about it, I have no problems with helping everybody out. My hands are let's see the list. I make my own natural. Okay, guys. So she Natural Way has put her information out there that she makes her own natural hair care products, and we spoke last evening on another lot. Actually, this morning, wee hours of the morning, we were speaking about natural products, and I'm sending her some information about my situation because I am natural. I've been natural for, oh my goodness, probably since before 1998. But she has certain products that she uses. So if you guys want to check out her channel, you may do so. I'm actually very interested in it. We made shrimp cocktail. Shrimp cocktail. Well, being a vegan, I really didn't think to cook anything for me. So yes, please check her out, Miss Yo-Yo. Yes, yes, yes. So real life, I made for the family, they have chicken and ribs and potato salad and baked beans and deviled eggs and I forgot what the other thing was. Corn. So I will be eating corn, baked beans. With I put in my baked beans, I use the vegan crumbles instead of ground beef, so I can eat the baked beans, the corn. Um, I made cauliflower potato salad, and I have coleslaw. So that's what I'll have. See, yes. So guys, you see that? So she also um, customized depending on the needs and allergies. So that's awesome. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I hope it's good because I haven't eaten yet. So I'm gonna be my. I won't have to talk on Tiffany Chanel's live. I can sit there and eat and mod, eat and mod. Get finished and go jump on the Bosu ball and do some steps. And so also, let's see, Living Better is on here. I don't know if you guys have gone to her channel. Um, she does, oh gosh, collaborations. She does tablescapes. So you guys check her channel out too. My website is it's on. Okay, so guys, you can go to her website. It's on her in her description box on her page. So yes, and the beautiful Tiffany Chanel today is her Makeover Monday. Yes. So y'all make sure y'all go over follow that live over there so y'all can money. What is it? Money. I always get that mixed up. I don't know why. I'm gonna learn that one. Money Makeover Monday. Probably saying it wrong. But you guys gonna follow me over there so you'll see what it is today. And I'm gonna write it down so I can remember it. So yes. And the Miss Yo-Yo Show, I don't know if y'all ever go to her premieres. She's really knowledgeable with YouTube things. She told us how to mention people in YouTube for your premieres and for your video, your lives and things of that nature. So check her out too. Storytime with Shay Jung. Check her out. So if you guys are not friends with somebody on here, be sure to show them some love. Drop them a heart. If you want to review one of their videos, leave a genuine comment. Go back and say, hey, we family now. You can do that if you like. I see it's 9 wonderful people in the chat. Whether you're on the chat or in the woods, I appreciate you being here. We're trying to wait these last 15 minutes out so that we can go and raid Tiffany Chanel on her live today. I'm not going to call it out because I keep saying it wrong. But we're going to go over there and raid her. Money Makeover Mondays. The 3 M's. I got to remember that. Money Makeover Mondays. So yeah, you guys make sure you check her out on the Money Makeover Mondays. You'll have a lot of fun. She gives you some really good tips. And a lot of you probably have already gone over to her live on Mondays before. But if you haven't, please join her. I'll be here anytime I can. Yes, 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 yes. You are actually awesome. And you do. You do. I'll never forget our first encounter singing on a live. That was probably the longest live I did. So it was the longest live. That was a 4-hour live. Make sure you get baby girl her snacks too, Tiffany. And your girl is definitely related to me with her onions. That was me as a child. When you said that, Tiffany, I just burst out laughing as a child, probably her age. I loved onions, raw onions. And they could not believe it. It's like, this child is eating raw onions. Yes, I did. And I still do. Yeah, I'll never forget that. I will never forget that. So real life, you got a new family member. Natural Way has made you a family member. So make sure you check out one of her videos and leave that genuine comment and thumbs up, like, share, comment. Come, family members, become family. We all in this journey together. We're all in this journey together. That's why I do not mind you explaining or saying what your channel is about, especially after, well, as long as the presentation is over, I open the floor. You guys can come up and talk, or you can talk on the chat. Yeah, she eats them like apples. Now, I don't do that. I'm not going to claim that one, but my husband did. And see, here we have the Vidalia onions. They're here in South Georgia. They're sweet onions. I don't particularly like them. So Natural Way, she's gonna check you out as well. So I'm glad you guys were able to connect. I'm glad you met somebody new in here today. But no, I would not do the Apple thing, but he did. It's like now that I draw the line, I cannot. I know it doesn't seem like there's a difference, but it really is a difference. So Natural Way, I know you said your hands are in messy right about now, but are you I have not reviewed your full channel, and I promise you I will get in there. But do you do other natural things like for um, eating naturally or supplements and things like that? Is that something else you do as well? Because I think we had spoke before about doing a collab of something of some sort. It's a Vidalia onion, and I'll message you with it. I don't like those. My husband likes them. I don't. I like the regular ones, but they grow them here in Georgia, in Vidalia, Georgia. They come out um, like springtime up until I think next month they don't have them anymore. They come once a year around that same time, and people use it to make what is that stuff called? Um, Gosh, why am I forgetting what it's called? Ah, not onion soup, but oh, you're welcome. You're welcome for the shout out. I have to give everybody their props now. I just pray that when my time, people do the same for me, because I will no matter what. I need to go down there and take her. Yes, I do eat natural and take essential oils. Essential oils. Oh, wow, elderberry syrup. Girl, I definitely got to hit your channel. I definitely got to hit your channel. And guys, she can sing too. She can sing. She's not going to take claim to it, but she sings. No, she don't sing. She sang. Yes, she sung on Tiffany Chanel's live one night. Hmm. Yeah, I'll definitely check your channel out more thoroughly because yeah, you're doing something that's part of my channel, and I'd love to do that. How to make this up? Okay, you know, I do I do have like organic stuff. I have figs, I have blueberries, I have strawberries, I had a pear tree and I had a peach tree, but the squirrels and their cousins kept messing with my messing with my lives, with my orchard. So I do have all those things. So real life has just connected with you natural way. She gave the two hearts. That's awesome. Awesome sauce. Thanks, guys. Live them better. Can you please go ahead and drop Tiffany Chanel's link in a few minutes so that we'll have it? If you can drop it. If you can't, I understand. I'll grab it and drop it. Or Miss Yo-Yo, if you're still in here, one of y'all, if you can drop her link for me in a few minutes, because I know it'll disappear because we're conversating in here now. Which I appreciate you guys hanging in here, but so that we can raid Tiffany. So Living Better also, she does, like I said, she does the tablescapes and she does home decor and she does shopped with her in Halls. She did a live on Saturday, and she went to her favorite retailer, which was the Gallery, and they were open. We opened up here in Atlanta, big time. So she went out and went shopping there. You going to see them? Exciting. Yep, awesome. Yep, she said you got some really good natural stuff. Oh yeah, I'm going to. I'm stuck. So if you are in the middle of the night and your phone starts going bing, 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 you know I don't sleep. So I will be, I will be there in your channel, all up in your business. Yeah. Now, are you, if you don't mind, Natural Way, what part? Where are you located? I'm in Georgia, so I don't know what state you're in. I don't need to know your city or anything because that's too much information. You're welcome. We're neighbors. Okay. I used to travel the roads going there because my corporate office was in Charlotte, and I had the whole entire eastern half of the United States. So I traveled from Florida to Georgia to Tennessee to Kentucky to South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, all the way up. I went all the way up. So, and the thing about it is, that's another story. That would be a good live, not live, a good premiere for me to do. But I came off. I would go on the road, but I would travel back home to Georgia, and the only way I would stay away from home is if I had no other option. But I tried to come home, so I would drive from Charlotte home. I leave in the morning, like at 4 in the morning, and would get to Charlotte. Once I get off the 485 with all the traffic, I would get to Charlotte and go to my meetings and meet customers and whatnot. And then I would drive back home, and I would be home by 10 o'clock at night. But I drove straight, and I drove like that's probably why I don't like to drive now. I'm tired of all that traveling. They are shooting the firecrackers out there now, so I guess we didn't get the storm. Presentation tonight. Thank you for sharing the great information. I learned a lot, sis. I'm glad you learned a lot. I'm glad you learned a lot. I would like to give more information, and I think a lot of times I rush through it and I ask for questions and things like that. But I've got to figure out a different method because I don't want to lose my audience, so I tend to rush through it. But I'm gonna have to slow things down because this is something that people really need to know, so I'm glad that I was able to help you with some of the information. I'm going to go over VA loans again. So you will have the opportunity to get more information. But thank you for the compliment. We have 5 minutes to Tiffany Chanel. We're going to go up and raid her. And I always make a joke about it, but we're going to go over and say we're raiders. So eat to live strong, raiders. Raiders of the lost art. And I guess I could go ahead and start saying my long speech. So, again, thank you guys for coming out and joining me today on yet another Monday. No, Mortgage Monday. So I decided to go with Mortgage Monday, guys. So thank you for coming out again for another Mortgage Monday. Thank you for dropping the link, Living Better. I will be back again on Wednesday at 7:30. All of my hours are at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Wednesday I will be doing, yep, we're Raiders. So we will be going, Wednesday I'll do my Wellness Wednesday. So I will be doing that. And on Fridays is Fitness Friday. So on this Wednesday, I was asked by Candy C to tell the difference between going being vegan and or keto. And I said, well, why don't I, and again, I bit off more than I should have been chewing, but I said, why don't I do, I think she said vegetarian and vegan. I think that's what she said. And I said, why don't I do vegetarian, vegan, and keto? And I said, no, why don't I do regular vegetarian, vegan, regular vegetarian, vegan, and keto? But I think I'm going to narrow it down to two and give it a two-session type of deal. So that will be, again, all of my lives are going to be on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Those are my informational lives. And then on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I will do content. And then on Sunday, I like to have that as an off day. And if I go live on Sunday, it's going to be late, like almost the next day when I can't sleep and when I'm working on my Monday stuff. So those are my times that I will go live. So again, I appreciate you guys for coming out here today. I'm going to listen. I listened to what you guys asked me to do, so I'm going to follow through with those. And we're going to go over to Tiffany's at 9 o'clock, and we're going to say, do you eat raw honey? Yes, I did. At one point, I did. Yeah. A lot of strict vegans, they do some things that just, to me, it's got to make sense. So, in other words, some of them are like, well, you wear such and such clothing, so you're not vegan. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? Go around naked? So it's got to make sense. I mean, some things they do is just a little outlandish for me. So I stay away from the animal products, ingesting it. I'm going to wear the clothes because what else am I going to do? So they're very strict about a lot. So I'm not that diehard strict vegan. And I'm not going to kid you. I have fell off the bandwagon quite a few times. When I first started doing my content on YouTube, I would eat seafood just because I was told, you need to let people see you eat it. And then finally I was like, no, I can't keep doing this to my body. So I stopped eating it and just doing the vegan way. So, but yes, you agree, yes. Because some of them are just really crazy for that stuff. So, but guys, it is coming up on the 9 o'clock hour. If you don't mind, please going over and rating Tiffany Chanel. At least stay on there. I don't see why you wouldn't stay the whole time. But if time, I understand with time, if you have to leave, at least give her 15 to 20 minutes in the live. So, yeah, everything vegan is expensive. Everything is expensive. So, no, I don't do that. I don't even. I'm starting to make my own. I'm going to start making my own soap, and I'm going to make my own. What's that other stuff? I was like kombucha. I know you know about
It's
kombucha.
9 o'clock.
Natural way, because I was going to do my own kombucha. Okay, guys, let's go rate Tiffany Chanel. Give it a love. At least give her 15 to 20 minutes of your time. I don't see why you wouldn't stay longer than 15 minutes, but go out there and show her the love that she needs. I'm going to keep my live up because if somebody comes in and wants to see questions, I will be able to answer their questions, but I will be in the live also. Oh, I love vegan cheese. I actually make my cheese. That was the hardest thing for me to give up was cheese, but everything else I didn't have a problem with. You drink, yeah, kombucha is, oh my, I love it. So, all right, guys, I'll see y'all over at Tiffany Chanel's Live. Whoop, whoop. Thank you again for joining. To Live Strong Raiders. See you in Tiffany's. Okay, dear. And I know what you mean. Cheese was hard for me too. Definitely was. But I'll see you later too. I'm going to be on your channel, so I'll see you later. Love you guys a long time. Thank you so much again. At least 15 to 20 minutes because she needs to help her with the hours in her algorithm. YouTube wants you to be in there for at least 15 minutes. Yeah, I thought she was supposed to be live at 9. Hold on just a second. Let me see if it popped up yet. She's probably getting baby girl ready. I think it's coming up now. Well, no, it didn't come up yet. Huh. I see people making comments. Okay, she said we'll begin in a couple of minutes. So I'll let you guys know when it comes up. I know you guys are busy, so. Ooh, they're sounding off the firecrackers now.
So
okay,
I apologize. Something was going on with StreamYard, and so I couldn't quite get it right. But I am in a different type of browser, and now things are working. So welcome to. Okay, guys, she's on. So if you want to go ahead and go over and show her the love, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And hopefully you learned some interesting